Okay, today we're going to talk about Google image search and how to appropriately search and cite images. So first we're going to start with an image search on Google. I'm going to type in helicopter and just do a search for helicopters. So obviously we get a lot of options when we start, but we want to make sure that we are using only images that we are allowed to use that are not copyright. So we're going to hit settings, advanced search. This will also allow you to narrow down your results through keywords, but today we're focusing on the usage rights. So right now it's not filtered by any license. So to make sure that we are covering our bases, we want to make sure that we are able to use or share the image. And in fact, sometimes it's even best to say use, share, or modify, because this means we can use it, it can be shared with other people, and if we need to crop an image, if we're adding text to an image, etc., we can still do that. So we're going to click free to use, share, or modify. And this is free to use, share, or modify in an educational setting for personal use, not commercially, not something you're going to be selling or for a business. We click advanced search, and we can see we still have a lot of really great options of helicopters to choose from. So I'm going to click on one. I like this image here. And I'm going to go to the original source so I can get the information for my citation. So I'm going to click visit to bring me to the source, which is the U.S. Department of Defense. And I'm going to get as much information as I can for my EasyBib citation. So EasyBib is already set to MLA 8, which is the newest version of MLA. You can see there's a couple different sources I can cite, website, book, video, etc. And then there's 59 other options, including digital image. These are alphabetical. So you can click on digital image, and it's going to tell us exactly what it needs in order to create the citation. So we're going to let that load, I think, for a sec. We're going to check back on our image. So this is the original site for the image, and it gives me a lot of photo details. Sometimes you're not going to get all of these details, and that's okay, but we're going to take whatever we can from this. So I can see the photo was by Laura Prokopik, and I can see where it comes from. I know the source for this website, so I'm going to use that in my citation. I know I'm going to have to cite the URL, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that to be efficient here. And as EasyBib pops up, I can see all of the different things that I need. And of course, it doesn't like ad blockers. It wants us to be able to help support EasyBib through ads. So we're going to turn that off really quick. And we're going to first copy and paste our URL where it says URL. And then I can see the other information that's needed, like website title, publisher, the electronic publishing date, contributors, etc. So this particular image doesn't have a title. That's the title of the article, not the image, but it does have a good description here. So to make sure I get it right, I'm going to just copy and paste this part of the description. I don't have to do the whole thing, but a North Dakota Army National Guard UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter is a very good description. So I'm going to use that for my description. And then I'm going to find the author. Her last name is a little tricky for me, so I'm going to copy and paste that as well. So her name was Laura Prokopik, I think maybe is how you say that. The website title and the publisher. So for this one, it actually happens to be the same thing. It's the U.S. Department of Defense. So I'm going to use that for my website title, U.S. Department of Defense. And I don't have to fill that in twice. If it's the same for website title and publisher, I don't have to put it in twice. I do have to put in the electronic publishing date, which sometimes is at the very bottom. In our case, it's actually right here at the top because this is a news article. So April 14th, 2015 is the date that this was published. The picture was taken on the 13th, but we're going to use the published date, April 14th, 2015. Month of April. There we go. 2015. And I'll just double check that I've included all of the information that I know. And then I'm going to let EasyBib create the citation. And then all you're going to do with this citation is once it's formatted, you're going to copy and paste your full citation directly underneath the picture when you use it, let's say in a slides presentation or in a publication. So that way we know exactly where that picture came from. So you can just copy and paste this and put it directly into your presentation. And that is it. That is how you use Google image search and how you would cite your source.